Shall we don't need a roll call. Shall we just show that we're all here? There you go. That works. I'm very glad to be back. I had a nice vacation. And thanks to Lisa for running the meetings. It was good. Thanks. We didn't have any complaints. That was good. Sometimes people like to complain, so that was good. We are on to item number, 1.3, I think it is. No. It's 1.4, I'm sorry, 1.4. We have a longevity career increment. Is this going to be you, Lori, or is it Pat? Okay.
It will be me.
Okay, this is fun, actually. This is a good one.
This is a
They are all
really
good,
neat
but
one, so
yeah.
I think I'll go down here.
Okay, sure. I'm always amazed at the longevity in this school, but it's such a good school. You can understand why people stay so long. It's good.
While I knew that Juan Patino has been with us 25 years this year, it was just serendipitous that we are able to recognize him tonight at the same time as I've asked him to come forward with his award from the state. So I'd like to actually ask Juan to come up before I do the formal recognition. If you wouldn't mind coming up here with your statewide award. And as you're walking, I will remind everyone, several months ago, the call came out from the Chancellor's office to nominate classified staff for the Classified Employee of the Year, and that's a statewide honor. Of the tens of thousands of classified staff in this system, certainly all of them are very worthy of being recognized. But we submitted Juan's name for consideration, and the college really gathered around to submit and prepare and provide testimony to the application material. And all Julie had to do was simply to put the word out that we're nominating Juan, and do you have any thoughts? And they came pouring in. And the thoughts, as you can well imagine, will you come up here? The thoughts were so warm, endearing, kind-hearted. And what I said in my particular letter is that our students engage with 7 to 10 different departments before they ever step foot in the classroom. And probably the first essence of the institution are our grounds. And certainly Juan seems to be everywhere with his colleagues, seems to be everywhere taking care of the grounds, as well as greeting both students and employees. And Juan is beloved for that. He's got a very optimistic, approachable outlook. He greets everyone. He recognizes that we do such a noble thing here, and he feels such pride. And he was selected as one of 5 Classified Employees of the Year. At the same time, we're so honored to recognize Juan's 25th year at Santa Barbara City College. So do you mind passing that around to the board? Maybe we'll give that to Angie. Angie, would you let the board take a look at that? So we went up to Sacramento, and Juan's wife and kids and grandchild joined us. We went out to dinner. We kind of peeked in at various historical spots, but most importantly, we were at the Chancellor's office where Juan was honored along with the 4 other colleagues and provided breakfast reception as well as an honor by the Board of Governors. So it is with much appreciation that we recognize your longevity here at Santa Barbara City College. Congratulations.
Thank you, Lori. Well, thanks everyone. Thank you, Lori. Thank you, Santa Barbara City College for this award. It is an honor and it is a pleasure or a privilege to be here. If it wasn't for all those letters also that people submitted for my nomination, I probably wouldn't be here, but thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
So the paparazzi is waving.
We think it's wonderful. I wonder if he carries that all around campus with him every day. I love it. He has the right to do that.
I almost kept it.
No, he would have noticed if you kept it. Well, good, thank you. Okay, now we have a hearing of citizens. We have 3 people that would like to speak, Angelica Von Roos and Sally Sanger. And the last speaker will be Mary Brown. So Angelica? It's probably Angelica. It's a pretty name.
Thank you. Hello, Dr. Gaskin and members of the board. I'm here today to ask, to plead that you keep at least some of the adult ed classes state funded. The legislatures in Sacramento realize the importance of continuing education and are continuing to fund it. The voters have spoken, and many of you were elected on the promise to save adult ed. It would be a tragedy to turn your backs on this money, which can't be used to add more credit students since the infrastructure does not exist. Many, if not most seniors, have to choose between rent or food or adult ed classes, and there aren't enough scholarships for all of them. And what about the teachers who rely on the income? The entire community will suffer. Please don't allow the apparent libertarian ideology of a few administrators to destroy what took over 50 years to build and save adult ed for future generations. Thank you.
Thank you. Sally Sanger will be followed by Mary Brown.
Hello. It's been a little while since I stood in front of the board, but I'm not any more comfortable. Why is that? I used to do it fairly regularly. Take a deep breath. I'm Sally Sanger, and I teach part-time here. I've taught here since 1982, approximately 31 years. I'm born and raised here. I'm a graduate of Santa Barbara City College, and everybody in my family has taken classes at Santa Barbara City College. We love it. I really appreciate the opportunity to speak to you. The board, President Marty Bloom, Dr. Gaskin. Santa Barbara is a special place. It has a reputation for activism and engagement in all things civic that Marty Bloom, you must know, as being a mayor, we tend to get involved and we are interested and engaged. So thank you again. I really appreciate being able to speak with you, and especially that the concerns of all constituents are welcome at board meetings. It's much appreciated. I have a passion for public education, and I've worked in the private sector, and it's enticing to work there with the benefits and the money. But my heart is in education for the public good. I like the democracy of it, the open access for all. Whether it's credit or not for credit, people from all walks of life sit shoulder to shoulder in their quest to better their education and better themselves. It's the best environment in which to teach and to learn. And I'm grateful to be able to do it year after year. I look forward to the grand opening of the Center for Lifelong Learning, otherwise known as the CLL. I know it will be a great shot in the arm for the fee-based component of our college. I'm really excited about all the possibilities and opportunities that are going to come out of it. I just came from a meeting about the grand opening, and I'm, again, very excited about it. I appreciate how much the college is giving and supporting this new enterprise, and how much sweat equity that the community and faculty members have put into it, and hoping that it will succeed, and I think it will. The governor's May revise is out, and discussions are in progress actually as we speak regarding the future of adult education. Like the government, we have engaged in, and we need to continue engaging in, a vigorous dialogue with all stakeholders in the community about how best to serve our public. I suggest that business leaders, politicians, city officials, community members, high school officials, and of course our faculty and staff come together and form a consortium to plan for the future of all of adult education in Santa Barbara. Even though there is a constant change at the government level, which makes it hard to plan, it should not stop us from dialoguing with constituents so that we can develop preferred and contingent plans about how best to meet the needs of our local community. As you know, Santa Barbara City College does not operate in a silo. There are strong repercussions to our actions in every aspect of the community. Let's work together as a whole so that we can maximize the positive effects of our actions and minimize any negative impacts it will have on those who depend on and really need state-funded public education. Until we have a plan that has arisen from meaningful dialogue involving representative stakeholders, I suggest that the college continue to offer appropriate state-funded classes in all categories allowable by the Chancellor's Office. These classes would complement what is offered at the CLL, the Center for Lifelong Learning, and be feeders into that center, as well as feeders into our credit and non-credit classes. By offering those classes, they provide one more avenue, one more link, one more gateway to student success. As trustees of the #1 community college in the nation, I know you will take seriously the concerns and comments of the people you serve and do what is in the best interests of the public good. I trust that you will not drop the ball before handing it over to a successor who would provide these essential state-funded classes. Thank you again for the opportunity to speak.
Thank you, Sally. Mary Brown, to be followed by Claudia Johnson.
Good afternoon. I am Mary Brown, and I want to thank you for this opportunity to speak to you today. I appreciate the long tradition of boards of trustees encouraging public comment as recognition of a foundational requirement for a respectful dialogue with this community. I am here today to advocate a board decision to allocate a portion of Santa Barbara City College's state funding for non-credit health and safety courses so that they can be offered without a fee. The amount of funding required would be modest, and non-credit health and safety courses meet this community's critical need for maintaining its residents' well-being. In support of my advocacy, I would like to begin by calling the board's attention to this week's Monday morning email update President Gaskin sends campus-wide. In it, President Gaskin announced that she was forwarding on to you, the board, her endorsement of the recommendation of the College Planning Council, known by insiders as the CPC, to change Santa Barbara City College to a smoke-free campus, an endorsement based on a position stemming from her beliefs. What followed was a statement of the beliefs she held about an academic institution's responsibility to foster practices that address maintaining health, fitness, and well-being, and her belief in the role a public education institution can play in service to the public good endorsement. I would like to quote her beliefs for you now. My position stems from a strong belief that as an academic institution, we have responsibility to foster practices that address the education of the whole student. Maintaining one's health, fitness, and well-being are important aspects of being a student. She goes on to say, quote, "Further, I believe that we assume a role as an institution with an eye toward the public good. Indeed, that's what public education really is all about. I hold those same beliefs as dearly as does President Gaskin. Beliefs that have been reinforced by my educational background and my workplace experience that I would like to share with you now. I hold an active California registered nurse license, a Bachelor of Science degree from the University of Colorado, class of 19, and a California Public Health Certificate. Each of these credentials encompasses not just a belief, but a foundational mandate to advocate for maintaining the health and well-being of a community's residents as a public good. In addition, I hold 2 positions of long standing with Santa Barbara City College that buttress my advocacy for non-credit health and safety courses to be offered without a fee. In my classified position, I have been integral to the development, implementation, and maintenance of all of the 4 non-credit medical-based certificate training programs we offer. These are the Healthcare Interpreter Training Program, the Medical Assistant Training Program, the Personal Care Attendant Training Program, and the Restorative Nurse Assistant Training Program. As a part-time certificated instructor, I teach 2 health and safety courses. One is the Mature Driver Improvement course that informs and motivates older drivers to maintain safe driving skills. The other, in collaboration with Santa Barbara Cottage Rehabilitation Hospital, is an annual stroke education series. It provides medical professionals and family caregivers with up-to-date information about this 3rd leading cause of death and how to cope with a survivor's rehabilitation. Here too, I am witness to the benefit each of these courses has made to the public good. Without funding support, however, health and safety courses such as these will become fee-based, putting them out of reach for many of the very people who are our public, who may need them the most. Surely there is no public good in that. I urge you to apply President Gaskin's eloquently stated beliefs in a public institution's responsibility to maintain and foster health, fitness, and well-being, to allocating funding to Santa Barbara City College's non-credit health and safety courses as well. The principle to educate with an eye toward public good clearly applies to them, and I urge you to do so. Thank you.
Thank you. We have Claudia Johnson, who'll be the last speaker.
Good afternoon, and thank you for your time. I am the president of the Continuing Education Instructors Association, and I will continue to represent all instructors in continuing education until June 30th of this year, and I'm honored to do so. In our meetings at the CEIA, it was decided that we would bring forth a petition and a letter to you as the Board of Trustees, and it is even more relevant given the May revise. So we apologize for what might seem to be just a quick and rapid approach, But as you all have also been waiting the news of the budget, we are having to respond pretty much in an ongoing fashion. So thank you for your understanding. I'd like to bring forward, and this will be also distributed digitally, so I won't necessarily waste time or distributing paper copies to all of you, but I will read it and enter it into the record. On behalf of the Continuing Education Instructors Association, to Santa Barbara City College Board of Trustees, please continue to fund critical need classes in health and safety, parent education, and older adult programs for the Santa Barbara community. Our college is supported by the Santa Barbara community. Measure V and Prop 30 passed because of the countless hours spent by volunteers in our city. Our college assumed full responsibility of adult education in our region more than 50 years ago and should continue to honor this responsibility as long as California continues to fund it. Requiring tuition fees for critical need classes in health and safety, parent education, and older adult programs disenfranchises those in our community that are unable to pay. In the 2011 to 2012 academic year, SBCC collected just under 18,000 FTEs. Please designate 100 FTEs to continue funding classes that are identified as meeting a critical need in our community. That leaves 17,750 FTEs to be used to demonstrate a commitment to the state priorities of career and college track education. Granting half of 1% to critical need courses will garner goodwill in the community and provide us continued political and financial support. The courses we provide also contribute to public health and safety by educating mature drivers, providing parenting education to at-risk communities, and lowering the community burden of healthcare costs for older adults. Our community deserves these classes, and we can continue to provide them at low cost. I would like to submit the attached signatures, which are from 86 members of our community, to this petition. In addition, there are an additional few letters. Now, as far as the Continuing Education Instructors Association, I would also like to read a letter coming from the President. Esteemed members of the board, on behalf of the Continuing Education Instructors Association, I ask you to please consider continuing to fund a small percentage of critically needed courses in the health and safety, parent education, and older adult areas. Under the leadership of Dr. Jack Friedlander, our college made the strategic preemptive decision to develop the infrastructure for a self-sustaining Center for Lifelong Learning. This enormous undertaking has left our community much better than it was previously. The center promises to make SBCC's contributions to the community more responsive and varied than ever. We are very excited to see the CLL in action. We strongly believe that keeping a small percentage of state-funded classes can actually help build and strengthen the CLL. These classes can act as feeders into the fee-based classes and ensure that we are not disenfranchising members of the Santa Barbara community who cannot pay. I know that you are all well aware of the benefits that access to free classes can provide. That is why the college committed itself to taking over the adult education mission in the first place, so many decades ago. Removing that safety net now will hurt the community. Refusing existing state funding for these programs is not only unnecessary, it can hurt the college's ability to access state funds in the future. The hearings held this week in Sacramento made it clear that colleges who wish to continue to receive adult education funding must maintain their current level of offerings. We should maintain some level of state-funded offerings so that the state continues to consider us among the colleges that are committed to adult education. If our adult education offerings drop as drastically as they will next term, we run the risk of never regaining our existing level of funding. That funding could be used to expand the vocational basic skills and ESL offerings that the college is supposed to prioritize. We urge you to consider these long-term implications. State-funded classes do not have to compete with the CLL. They can be used to increase student access to the CLL. The analysis required to make some classes state-funded can be done, and those problems and logistics can be resolved. We hope you will remain open-minded to what could really be a winning proposition for all our stakeholders. Thank you for your consideration and your service to our college. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, and thanks for your your statements. Generally, we can't take any action on something that's not on our agenda, but we do appreciate you coming forward and giving us some information, as did all the people who spoke before us, so that's good. If I can just offer a little bit here, I would be surprised if we were turning down any money for any classes. That's just not our nature here. So we'll try to figure this out because that's our job up here. So, but if the state wants to offer us money, we'll put it on, you know. It just makes sense to me. Probably shouldn't have added that since it's not on the agenda, but there you go. We have recognitions, I think, next, Lori?
Right. And while we had indicated we have no recognitions, we actually have some cupcakes, which aren't recognitions, but
Good.
I would like to ask that Dean and Ashley come forward, and actually also Juan. This was kind of a trifecta of
Good.
celebration.
Good.
This is Dean's last meeting as Academic Senate President. This is Ashley's last meeting as our student trustee, and we get to celebrate Juan for one more thing. Dean has been an incredible partner. There's no stronger relationship than the relationship between the president and the Academic Senate President. And Dean by far is just first among equals in that regard. And I just want to say publicly, I so appreciate everything you have done to make my transition here.
Thank you. Although I noticed there's only 2 boxes, so I don't know what everyone else is going to have. Thank you very much. It's been an absolute pleasure working with Laurie.
Ashley has been a phenomenal student trustee
has.
and will be replaced at the first board meeting in June. Yes. Okay, and I know she'll comment about her replacement with your comments later. Okay. But, and Juan, let's have some cupcakes. So just if we could have like 2 minutes to grab a cupcake and
Okay,
say
we'll take
thank
an
you for that.
intermission just to grab a cupcake. Thanks. Intermission or whatever it is. Take your bites of your cupcakes, and thanks for offering these, Lori. Thank you.
You're welcome.
It's good.
Angie and I baked them last night ourselves.
You worked hard, I know. Pink and purple icing, how special. We have minutes of the meetings on March 28th and April 25th for approval. The minutes of the March 28th meeting, there's one change, and that is, and it's almost a typo, I think. On the last page, I think it said the board voted 6-1, but really it was 6-0 with 1 abstention. So that's not really a correction. It's very close to not being one. Are there any other corrections on March 28th? Can I have a motion for approval then?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
And April 25th,
Move approval?
is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
And I'll abstain, having been somewhere, I don't know where I was. Okay. Communications, report by the Academic Senate. Dean? Dean was going to wait to eat his cupcake till after. There we go.
Thank you very much for those cupcakes. They're wonderful, but yes, I'm going to wait, because coming up here and go to the cupcakes probably wouldn't look really dignified. This is my final report as president, as my term ends on Saturday. After then, the president-elect, Kelly Neufeld, will become the president, and I get to join the ex-president's club. First, I'd like to thank the board for support of the college. It's a very difficult job, because you go into this job with the idea of rebuilding the ship, and then you find out after you're elected, you occasionally get to touch the helm. So it's quite difficult, it's quite a challenge. So thank you very much for your work. I would also like to thank Lori, who has been a pleasure to work with, even when we disagreed. She's an excellent leader, and we're in very good hands. I would also like to thank Jack and the deans for many spirited conversations regarding the college. Additionally, I also like to thank Liz Auchincloss and the classified staff. I value our relationship, and it was great talking with you about what was going on in the college. Last but not least, there are many faculty I'd like to thank. There are committee chairs, ad hoc committee chairs, the senators, many people have worked with me these last couple of years. So many people. I mean, some committees we've had 40 to 50 faculty involved in the decisions that we come up with. A huge percentage of full-time faculty and faculty. So many, as a matter of fact, I don't have time to cover them all. So, and the reason I like to thank all these people is because as president, you can't do anything on your own. You have to do things with people. The accomplishments of the last couple of years are simply a reflection of what the faculty wanted to do. And I have to tell you that faculty want to do an awful lot in the last couple of years. The last 2 years saw unprecedented turmoil at the college with 3 college presidents. It also saw large changes at the board level. Of course, no surprise to you guys, you're all sitting here. Piled on top of this was the whipsaw approach to education budgeting favored by the state of California. Unfortunately, that last part is absolutely not unprecedented. It seems to be par for the course right now. When I started this job, my focus was and still is faculty voice. I am very pleased with what you have accomplished, and again, I'd like to thank the board, administration, and classified staff for working closely with the faculty to wrestle with difficult budget issues. I believe that the spirit of collegiality is what makes SBCC special. I put together a brief list of Senate accomplishments over the last 2 years. This is not a complete list by any means, just the first couple things that popped into my head. There are 26 items. I will try to go quickly. We created a process to reduce course offerings. Then we created a process to increase course offerings. We created a summer work group to look at what kind of college we would like to be and how to distribute TLUs. We ended up with a 2-tier process where we had a bottom-up approach to TL reduction and a faculty-wide conversation meant to influence TLU allocation. Happy to say that the faculty and administration had very similar views on what to promote: transfer, certificate, and career tech education. We held course realignment forums in September, which was also was well attended. The Senate started taking a close look at the budget and budgeting processes in great depth. There was an ad hoc committee was created to actually look in great detail. We examined the program review process. We tried to enforce the 21 TLU cap. That wasn't so successful. We had a special meeting on reducing full-time faculty. We ranked positions, including replacements, for 2 years. I'm really glad my hope is that that's kind of done for now. I hope we don't have to do that again. That was not pleasant. We looked at faculty service areas, including verifying that everyone has one. We looked at regular and effective contact hours. We looked at program discontinuance process. We looked at plus or minus grading. We had the FW grading option, technology plans, college plans, classified reductions, and impact to the classroom. Liz came and talked to the faculty in depth about what would happen to the classified support, so the faculty had a good understanding of the impacts, what was going on with the budget. We moved COI back to educational programs. We convened a faculty budget advisory group to do a deep dive on the budget. And Joe and Leslie actually came and talked to us and took us through every single line item of the budget in incredible detail. They were so great. I really appreciate that. We looked at block scheduling, which we're still looking at. We looked at room priority, which we're also still looking at. And we're looking at emergency preparedness. We reviewed the mission statement and the College Core principles. We did the CID initiative follow through. We reviewed the ACJC special report. And we just finished voting on modifying the Senate Constitution. And I'll release those results probably tonight. In this list are major items: what we do with our educational programs, how we grade our classes. We actually added plus or minus grading, and we also use the FW grading option too. Those are new to the college. And also some influence on how we spend our money. Those are major challenges that engage large numbers of faculty, and the faculty were up for the challenge. Although getting this all done has been a lot of work, I feel that the best time to lead is when there are challenges to solve. That there are challenges to solve with good people to help you solve them. By that metric, this has been an absolute best time to lead. Thank you.
We have certainly enjoyed working with you, Dean, and I don't think you're going anywhere, hopefully. So we will continue to work with you. Ashley, are you going to be doing the Associate Student report?
I'll speak on Geneva's behalf.
Okay.
We did have our last meeting for the Student Senate on this previous Friday. It was very heated. We were voting on becoming a smoke-free campus and how we felt about a police officer on campus. So it was really intense and just really nice to have such a diverse group with so many opinions. So that was awesome. Since it was last meeting, we do have they have some plans to meet during the summer just to keep productive. So when we come back to school, we can still maintain and continue to be efficient. One of our own senators, Angel Solorzano, was elected as the SSCCC's Region 6 Vice Chair, which is really exciting. I'm really happy that we have someone from our school on the SSCCC to help us like represent and keep connected. And yeah, elections are done. All of our new senators and positions have been filled. So I have really high hopes, and I'm really confident that next year's Senate is going to be just as good, if not better, as this one. So yeah.
That's good. Well, we've enjoyed working with you too. And can you introduce your
Yeah, of course. This is Levy Palencia. He's the current student, well, he was the student advocate, and I think he's going to do a phenomenal job. He's really into it, and I feel really confident, and I'm really happy that he was elected, and you guys are all going to work really well together. So
Good. I was telling him I saw him on TV this week.
Uh-huh.
Because he was at the city council talking about Cliff Drive, and I
Oh,
thought,
yeah.
well, there's an active young man, and here he is. That's good. So we'll look forward to working with you. And thank you, Ashley, for all your work. You attended a lot of meetings, and we appreciate it.
thank you. I appreciate the opportunity.
Sure. Okay, Liz, are you report on classified employees?
Good afternoon, Board President, President Gaskin, members of the board. I wanted to thank Dean for all his work that he's done for the Senate. When he reads off the list of all he's done, it's amazing what he's accomplished in the couple of years he's been president. But also, he's been a very good colleague to me. He's been very supportive. He's recognized classified issues. He's asked me to come speak to the Senate on really critical classified issues. And I've enjoyed our discussions that we've had. So he's just been a great person to be the president of the Senate and to work with. We've been on many committees together. We've done many projects together, and so it's just been great. So I wanted to thank him for all that he's done for the school and for the classified staff, and for my relationship that I've had with him this year, in the last 2 years actually. The consultation group has met a couple times since the last meeting. We've talked about the police officer on campus and the smoke-free campus, and we did a request into EC for some communication items, and we've been listened to, so there'll be some changes there that will help the classified staff. And of course, this week we've celebrated Classified School Employee Week. I want to thank President Gaskin for the burrito breakfast in recognition of the week, and today we concluded with a nice ice cream event that some of you I saw there, and I think our last customer was Dr. Haslam.
Why isn't that surprising?
We actually used up all the ice cream we purchased, so we had a very good turnout, and I think I had a good time. I hope everybody else did too.
And they didn't even have a straw for the Slurpee ice cream,
Well, at the very end, you know how it happens.
but it was very good.
That's my report.
Okay, thank you very much. And we need to thank all the classified employees this week. I guess we did with breakfast, and they thanked us with ice cream, so couldn't be better. Report from the superintendent president. Lori?
Thank you. I just have 4 items. May is certainly a remarkable month, and it's remarkable by virtue of the fact that we have begun the academic year, 9 months ago, with such incredible vision about what the year would look like, and it has truly panned out. And now we get to celebrate everyone's accomplishments and our students' achievements, and really the whole year packed into one. We are both exhausted by May as well as exuberant and energized with what's about to happen tomorrow. But there's been so many things that have been leading up to tomorrow, a tremendous number of end-of-the-year events, and I've seen many of you at those events, and I really appreciate that. The students really appreciate that. So I just wanted to recognize the college and our staff and faculty who do so much throughout the year to get to this point, and then give above and beyond to recognize our students in so many very meaningful ways. So that's pretty neat. The second thing is Levy is indeed a mover and a shaker. I went to a relinquishment get-together, about a week ago or something, week and a half, and I'm walking in a small group of people, Mesa people, and there's Levy sitting there next to Darcel Elliott, who is staffer for Doss Williams. So Levy is in there. I think that you're very much focused on governmental issues and public policy, and I think just like Ashley, he will be a stupendous student trustee. So we're looking forward to that. And Ashley, my absolute joy and pleasure in being able to connect with you and meet with you and see your vitality this entire year. Item, that was kind of all packaged in item 1 and 2. Item number 3, I wanted to update you on enrollments for summer and fall, because they are really actually quite strong. For summer, we have 430 sections. Our head count is up 6%, and our units are up 5.9% for summer. 74% of the available seats have been enrolled, and 20% of the courses have been closed. We have about 300 more California residents as compared to last year, and about 130 more non-California residents as compared to last year, summer to summer. Fall, 2,200 sections, and I'm going by memory. I'm looking at, where's Robert? Yeah, you did move, Robert. One of them was up 18%. I think it might have been fall that was up 18% in sections, but I'm asking off the top of your head. I know, yes. 2,200 sections, 25% are closed already.
Wow.
Quarter of the sections are already closed. And we can tell you where that is. It's in our general education transfer patterns principally. 42% of the available seats are already enrolled. Our head count is up 7% and our units are up 9.5% as compared to last summer. Wow. So we're meeting needs, and that's the positive thing. And then finally, my fourth thing, I truly cannot speak highly enough for your outgoing academic senate president. I knew the minute that I met him that he was not only a stupendous teacher and really devoted and dedicated to his discipline, but a leader. And I just want to end, because it's something that I tell Dean all the time, you have not seen the last of him. I absolutely believe in growing our own, and I have high hopes that he one day will sit here and do this wonderful thing as lead an institution. So thank you, Dean.
Thank you.
That's it.
Okay, thank you. And a report from committee chairs. Marcia, did you have something from facilities?
Facilities Committee met, and we had a relatively short meeting, but we covered items H and I on this agenda under 6.1, which is the business consent items. The Second Amendment of Agreement Pacific Materials Lab for additional materials testing and inspection services for the Humanities Modernization Project. That was relative to the original amount, it was a significant increase in the costs, but we talked about that, we talked about the reasons for it, and we are comfortable in recommending going forward. And as well, we talked about the approval and award of contract for drafting lab upgrade project, and those are the two items. We also had an update from Dr. Gaskin about the process for prioritizing our facilities needs, which will kick in, I think, in full gear in the fall. So we will hear more about that in the future. I'd also like to take a moment to thank Dean, because I think he's really done an exceptional job as academic president, and I feel that the Academic Senate has done a wonderful job for us as board members in providing us your input in the issues that are important to you, in tackling those issues, in working them out, and helping us be better board members. And so I thank you for that. A word of warning to Kenley, you've got big shoes to fill here, so good luck. And I'd also like to thank Ashley and the Student Senate, because I know you have dealt with some very substantive issues this year, and we appreciate that. I mean, the MTD, the smoking, and so forth, these are contentious issues, and it's really good to have input from our Student Senate as well. So thank you.
Good, good. Any other chairs? Yes, Peter?
The Ed Policies Committee has met, and we were brought up to date on the progress being made on the educational policies, or master plan rather. and that appears to be going forward very well by receiving campus input, and all of that will be ultimately distilled, and then we'll have a chance to look at it as a final product. We also undertook, began the conversation about student eligibility as they come from the high schools. We know that the expectation of having a high school diploma is not being met, in the sense that in excess of 70% of students coming here do not test out as being eligible to take our English or math courses at the college level. And our concern is that not only is that a major expense item, but it is also, it's got to be disappointing to the student who comes here thinking, I'm ready, and then gets the word that I'm not ready. We feel we know what the problem is. We don't know what the sources of the problem is. And I think we are unanimous, whether we are at the Santa Barbara K-12 Unified School District Board or the Carpinteria Board, we don't know what the sources are. But we are committed to looking at those sources. And if we can tease out particular sources that are major contributors to the problem, then perhaps we can construct and recommend to this board a source of remedy, and that would be a good thing.
Good, I'm glad
Could I-
you're tackling that. Sure. go ahead.
Just a word to Dean, because he is a class act. And, you know, as a former president of the Academic Senate, I can certainly both sympathize with the task of doing that job, but also marvel at the sort of unrestrained list of accomplishments that this Academic Senate has accomplished under his really superior leadership. So I want to welcome you to the Past President's Club, which I didn't know existed. But now that I do, I'll find it to become a source of revenue. So get out your checkbook. Thank you for your leadership, Dean. You truly are a hard act to follow.
Thank you. Anybody else? Yes.
Update from fiscal, we went into more detail about the zero-based budgeting and the processes used to discuss that throughout the institution. Also, assumptions used to develop the 2013-14 tentative budget. That'll be discussed one more time at fiscal before it comes before the board for approval. The tentative budget needs to be approved by the college by June 14th, 15th, something like that. And then I'll jump in with everyone else. You know, this is kind of an emotional time of year, and for us, especially the last 2 years. And I remember one former board member here telling me that often the meetings were boring, and certainly that hasn't been the case for us here the past 2 years. And I remember the first time I met you, Dean, or saw you speak in front of us at the podium, always so bold and so truthful. And what I really appreciate is, I think, you know, as with Liz Ock in class, though we don't always agree on everything, there's a mutual respect and there's a way of handling our disagreements that really could be modeled throughout the institution and, you know, the board with the public in Santa Barbara to develop a level of trust that we can talk through issues and perhaps never reach agreement, but at least understand each other. And I really applaud you for that, Dean. And on my own other side, you know, I mention my kids a lot, and again, this time of year, my son graduated from this college last year, and now has finished his junior year at college. And so I'm emotional thinking about that and all the glory and things that'll go on tomorrow as these students celebrate finishing their time at our college. I'm so proud of them, and I'm so proud of all the faculty and staff that have supported them in getting to this goal. It's a great time. Thank you, Lori, for your leadership this past year.
And it's a great time for their families, too, because we watch the families with such pride. It's wonderful. So we're looking forward to graduation tomorrow is what we're trying to say there. Student success scorecard. Speaking of students, Robert?
As Robert is getting ready, I'd like to remind you that he leads our Institutional Research and Planning Office, and he does so with great skill and professionalism. The scorecard is critically important. It has replaced the ARC report. You will no longer see the accountability report for community colleges. Rather, this has been legislatively decreed that we begin to track our progress within these metrics that Robert will be going through. What's most notable and something we need to be aware of, there are people who are opining that this is simply going to then lead to the next step, which is performance-based funding. We don't know about that, but nonetheless, this becomes a very, very important set of metrics. When we were up in Sacramento, I was encouraged by the leadership of our Chancellor's office to make sure that we focus on these and that we move the dial, direct quote, that we move the dial on these metrics, because that's where the funding will lie, and that's where our student success roots are in. So, Robert, I'll let you begin.
Thank you, Lori. I would like to just give you a brief introduction to this scorecard, which, as Lori said, this replaces our old paper-based ARC report, but it carries those same measures forward to a great extent, and it's based on that same stream of data that we report at the end of every term, at the end of every year. So it's not just starting from scratch, it's the continuation of data that we've been collecting at the college and at the system level for many years. And it'd be great if a Santa Barbara City College picture showed up here.
I know.
Okay. So the best thing they did was give it a real easy name to remember so you can find it on the web. Anybody can go here, you don't have to log in. Scorecard.cccco.edu. 4 C's and an O for California Community Chancellor's Office. And scorecard.cccco. Go there, select a college, or you can look at the statewide metrics, but let's look at Santa Barbara City College. I'll type it in here a little faster. There we go. And let's see what we see. All right. So very straightforward, very clearly presented. 6 tabs here. The first tab is a profile, overall view of our student population. Main thing to notice here is now everything is broken down by gender, age, and ethnicity and race, and as you'll see later, college preparedness as well. So, a few more females than males. Here's our age distribution, our largest age groups, those that are 20 or younger. We're approaching 34% Hispanic. Here's our FTES. This is credit and non-credit combined. And so lots of numbers. I encourage you to go here and explore. Now, the rest of these tabs are a little more closely focused on metrics that we use to gauge how we're doing, especially in the 3 main areas of career tech, degree and transfer, and basic skills. So this first tab summarizes persistence. Persistence, this is, as it says here, percentage of degree and or transfer seeking students tracked for 6 years through 2011-12. So these are students who started in 2005-06, if I've got that right, and enrolled in the first 3 consecutive terms. This metric is considered a milestone or momentum point because we know that students who continually enroll have a much higher chance of succeeding. And also notice, very significant, that this is broken down again by not only by age, gender, ethnicity, but vertically by whether the student entered college prepared or unprepared for college. And unprepared means that the first math ability course that you took was below college, or remedial math ability, which means that the first math ability course you took was college level or above, then you were college prepared. So, 65% of the students that are in this cohort enrolled consistently in the first 3 consecutive terms. These are the students who achieved 30 units or more in that same 6-year period. All these tabs are looking at that same cohort of students tracked over 6 years. So again, prepared, unprepared, you can see broken down by ethnicity that the underrepresented populations don't do as well. We see that, that's what we want to focus on. And surprisingly here, prepared, unprepared, not a big difference, but you'll see larger differences later on. So persistence, 30 units. Here's completion. Percentage of degree and or transfer seeking students tracked again for 6 years who completed a degree, certificate, or transfer. 64% overall. That's one of the numbers that got us to Aspen Prize. We're very proud of that. The nationwide average is more like 40%. Statewide average is in the mid-40s. So having something that high is very significant. But look at the bad news here: prepared versus unprepared. Much more likely to succeed if you begin at college level. If you begin behind the 8 ball, time is your enemy. And of course, we have great programs under Jack's leadership to improve that, ESE and other programs. Remedial. This is the percentage of credit students tracked again for 6 years who started below college level, below transfer level, I should say, in English, math, or ESL, and made it to college level in that same discipline. So 26.5% of the students who started below college in math made it to a college level math course in 6 years. Not great, but we're working on it. English, surprisingly higher. You'd think maybe math would be higher, but no, English is higher. ESL, some work to do there, but these are the what we call progression rates. Getting out of the basic skill sequence, getting to college level.
And just to point out what the math is indicating, we know from the research that algebra is the gatekeeper, and algebra keeps people from progressing.
And finally, career tech education. Percentage of students who in 6 years completed several courses classified as career tech in a single discipline and completed a degree, certificate, or transfer. Again, this is a very high number compared to our peers and compared to state average. So a lot of good news here, but a lot of news indicating we have work to do, but this is a great focal point for beginning discussions about this data. You can drill in further by downloading not only this year's worth of data, but 5 years worth of data, so you can see trends in this rather than just a one snapshot. There's all kinds of background documentation methodology if you want to find out more of how they got these numbers and what exactly are they measuring. But I encourage you to go to scorecard.cccco.edu, explore, click around. It's a great thought-provoking exercise and raises lots of questions. And feel free to contact my office at any time if you want to discuss any of this or ask questions. Thank you.
Yeah. Do we give the Chancellor's Office the information and they plug it into this, right?
It's
Oh,
uploaded
okay.
through MIS.
Okay. So we can't really add anything that we would want to.
No. In the ARC, if you recall, we were able to write a 500-word narrative.
Right.
But no. And this is very transparent. This is much more accessible to the general public than ARC ever was. And truly, it is meant to cause the institutions to make progress in those areas that are deficit.
Yes, Peter.
Just a point of clarification, when you were back on the slide dealing with students who had a low achievement level in math, did you indicate that 26% were able to achieve a college level math course within 6 years?
Yes.
Within 6 years.
Yes. That means that 75% were unable
Right.
to make that achievement.
Right. In 6 years.
Correct.
And you said algebra
Is the gatekeeper.
But it's interesting that the math students, 60% of them are 50 years old or older. I don't know.
Well,
Why is that?
we don't know, without drilling in further, how many students are within, this might be one person here, or two people.
and,
So 60% of them is in that.
Got it.
right, right. That pops out, this age group pops out as several of these tabs. So that's why it's important to go look and spend some time thinking, and questions come into your mind. And again, feel free to contact me anytime to look further.
Where you need to be incredibly proud is the efforts and work done with our Hispanic Serving Institution grants, federal grants, in mathematics as well as in English, but certainly in mathematics, and the acceleration is addressing that with very strong success rates. So we're testing, and we know some effective practices, and what we're trying to do is scale those.
Is that the learning communities that they're in right now?
Yes.
And that's going to run out of when, 2015? The money?
We have
20.
5-year grant, and next year is our 3rd year of the grant. And so I had, spent some quality time today with Kathy and Roy, who's overseeing the project. We talked about adding more sections of the accelerated math. A lot of it is having instructors who want to step forward and do it. And so we'll be adding additional sections next year and a lot more, even the following year, of the accelerated math. And that's going to really move that far. And our goal is to go as large as the demand is over time. What's nice about the program is the courses were operating anyway, so it's not added cost when the grant comes out. And what Kathy and I were talking about today is, even though it's a couple years away, how do we sustain the project when the funding runs out? And that's what we're starting to work on now. Even though several years down the road, that's how you plan properly and doing it. This works.
And how do Hispanic students, do they get priority for it, or how? So I assume these classes would probably fill up the fastest.
Yes.
So how are we ensuring that the recruitment is going out to Hispanic students and that they are in fact being enrolled and supported through this grant?
Yeah, from day one, we're doing an excellent job of targeting. Starting high schools in Dayton, a lot of our students are ELPS students. I think over 70% of our students are Hispanic that are participants in this workshop. The students have to join the program, and they join, they get the courses they need. And so
There's a commitment, there's an expectation, there's accountability, which all structure provides that structure that our students need. Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you. Oh, Craig, go ahead.
Just some comments. I was impacted after reading everything about the speakers, the adult ed people that spoke tonight. And I read most of what they were going to say beforehand and was prepared for that. And I thought, when this particular topic, when I read all that, I repeatedly read it again this afternoon, I thought this particular topic that we just got through looking at or finishing up with, I was hoping that they would have stayed and watched this, because this, to me, this kind of defines where our emphasis is, what our goal is. And maybe, just maybe, it occurred to me a little while ago that if they had classes or offered classes to those target groups who are not enrolling in the college or not performing well to get here on time, if they had classes that would reach out to that particular segment and help us not just solve a problem, but to help make the overall college better here, then I would like to know about that. Yeah. And I am sorry that they're not here, those people that took the time and to speak quite eloquently, I thought, and well prepared. And hopefully, I'm sorry they're not here, but hopefully they'll watch this and see exactly what we're looking at here, what the intent of the state is, and we're not just governed here because we want to make it a priority. That's it. I think I said enough.
Okay.
If I could just add one more comment. What just is happening here, I think, is exactly the intent of the scorecard, for people to look at this and feel good where we're doing great, but also recognize where we have work to do and start talking about it and why might this be and what would be the root cause here, what can we do. That's just great.
Okay.
And it aligns with Ed Policy's interest in understanding that, and notice the main categories in those metrics are college prepared and below college level.
Yeah. And the 6-year comparison, is that true for each of these 3 categories?
Yes, 6 years off, which,
Oh my gosh.
that's a long time.
Yeah.
6 years is a long time, and to
it's
not
surprising.
make it out in 6 years is something to be troubled about.
Yeah.
It's the number, though, that we've been using for quite a long time as the basic metric for this. Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
Okay. Well, thank you very much. Thanks, Robert. We shall move on to, I think the next thing is the governing board self-evaluation.
I can certainly take this.
Thank you.
We met as an ad hoc group and we did a fine work over the summer in terms of crafting a board self-evaluation instrument that had real meaning and purpose, and I thought all of you appreciated that document. We started with that document then. The only thing we added in part 1 was number 20. We noticed that we didn't have board development question, and we certainly need that. So we added number 20. And then we added part 2, which now that you have articulated board goals, you should be ranking yourself on those board goals, the progress in meeting those goals. So we put that on there. And then part 3 was where there was quite a bit of questioning about engagement, ethics, civility, and we felt that the board was probably past that at this point, so we focused on major accomplishments. So these 2 questions on part 3 come from last year's. So if you are comfortable with this, we would like to distribute, our office will distribute and collect them and collate them, yes.
Yeah. Marcia?
I just wanted to mention that I think there's, Peter, you handed out a document, is that?
No,
That's
that's-
a different document.
Okay, I'm sorry.
That was, yeah.
Then, to go back to the board self-evaluation, my one comment was that in the categories we were offered to grade ourselves, it seemed to go from outstanding to good, which sounds to me like A+ to C. And I would like a little more gradation in those options.
Why not use the same structure as we do with the other one, which has 5?
Except I probably wouldn't recommend N, which is not applicable because all of
That's
these.
fine.
So
Yeah.
I can do, it's 5.
Sure.
So I'll do that. We'll
Okay.
change that.
Okay.
And then we'll get that sent out, Robert. And this one will be on SurveyMonkey because we can run it through, yeah. Okay, I'll work with Robert and we'll do that.
Okay, I don't think you need a vote on this, do you?
No.
Okay.
It was for information.
Yeah, okay, good. Excellent. Okay, superintendent president, no, human resources. Pat English.
Good afternoon, members of the board and President Gaskin. I'm here to ask for your approval of the HR consent items, but before I do that, I do have a couple of changes to ask you to make. They're both on item 4.1A, which are the actions involving permanent personnel. The first one is on page 1 of 3. It's under the heading of faculty resignation. The name Deborah Telejo, she is actually leaving on June 28th, not July 1st, so if you would make that change. The other change is on the very next page under classified change in assignment voluntary for Arnold Gowans and Sohaila Javanbach. Instead of their start date of their change in assignment being July 1st, it should be June 1st.
Okay.
And if you make those changes, I am ready to submit items 4.1A through D for your approval.
Okay, any discussion? Can I have a motion?
Approval.
Thank you. A second?
Second.
Craig? Okay, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay,
Thank you.
thank you. Jack?
I've arrived.
There you go.
Okay, recommend approval of item 5.1. These are the credit curriculum changes, new courses, course mods, and associate degree transfer agreements.
Okay. Are there any questions or? No? Okay.
Move
Have a
approval?
motion? Okay,
Second.
and a second. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Thank you. These are on item 5.2. Recommending approval of these stipends for faculty.
Okay, any questions, or? Okay, can I have a motion, please?
Recommend approval.
Okay. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Okay, thank you. This is you'll be seeing a lot of these creative titles, and we're trying to jazz up the titles. Now that we're not under state scrutiny, none of these would pass the state, but this is the flexibility we get under the CLL. So I'm recommending approval of these new courses being offered through the Center for Lifelong Learning. And it seems like this is, under psychology, there's a fixation about what happens after you die. But I'm asking for action while we're still alive, so.
I noticed that. There seem to be a lot of courses on that. Oh, well.
Jack, I just have a question. I'm sure we went through it, but so some of these courses are courses that were already like popular with the community, courses that already had high enrollment type of courses?
Well, no, these are all new. And so,
so they're, and are any of the old former courses
yeah,
in addition to?
but we're not taking
adding?
them because they're already approved as fee-based.
Yeah.
Some of these were, no, these are all new. And what happens is a lot of the instructors and people in the community are coming forth with ideas.
Okay.
And we look at now which ones we think would have an audience. And we ask the instructors, for how they help, market, how we do this. Then in a few weeks we have a in-service for CLL instructors on how to use social media tools to market their courses, and how to use social media tools to engage their students once they're in the courses. So you'll see, and then our new associate director starts on Tuesday. So going forward, you're going to be seeing a lot of creative offerings, a lot of them, and she's got expertise in health education, some of the very areas you heard speakers speak. So you'll see a lot of good, innovative courses that are very responsive to the very needs that some of our speakers were concerned about today.
And since you mentioned technology, and a lot of these are adult learners, there is a big digital divide for many adult learners. So how are we going to address those needs in terms of, if the instructors are going to be using technology to recruit, and if there is that digital divide with adult learners, how are we going to address that?
Well, that'd be one of many forms. If you look at the list of courses, one of the items under the very last page, page 2.2 on 5.3, is what we can tell students. Here's a 3 to 6 hour course, depending on how to use the social media tools like network, Facebook, and others that are popular.
So they'd have to pay to take a course to learn the technology that they would have to apply in their classroom.
Right, but some of that instructor will be teaching them in the class because we're making sure the instructors have the skills. So a lot of it is they'll get it in the class itself, and from students helping students.
I'm cautious just because, I know, even now in the K-12, we're rolling out technology in the classroom, and even for people educating, technology is a big thing, so I wouldn't want someone to look at a class and, oh, this sounds great, but it's going to be delivered, or I'm going to have to be required to use X, whatever, and it, scares someone away because they don't want to pick up a
and these won't be
tablet or
internet
whatever.
courses. The whole idea of using social media in the class is to get the students to
like word of mouth marketing.
Develop a community, and so that because really what we're trying to achieve is 3 things at the center. One is a place where people can learn things they're interested in. 2, a sense where they can meet other people who have shared interests, and 3, is a cultural civic hub of the community. Is the vision, and we see social media as a way of helping us as one of several mediums. We're not going away with print. We'll still be doing mailing, and so this is one of many. So anyway, I'm recommending approval.
Okay, is there a motion?
Does the course on heaven, what it is and how to find it, does that apply to trustees?
I don't think we're looking at heaven here.
We haven't figured out a curriculum that would work for you yet, so we'll let you know.
Thank you. I move approval.
A course with that title should be definitely for credit.
Okay, is there a second? Okay. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Okay, thank you.
I think we could actually get more creative in some of these,
I would think that
Long enough to let you know.
Okay.
the creativity should help in the marketing, I would think.
Right.
I think so too.
Get the word out.
Okay?
While Joe is getting ready, I just wanted to inform you that we are pulling item 6.1J, Madrid Fall 2013 Study Abroad Program Contract. We'll bring it back in June. It just has a little revision that needs to occur in the contract itself.
I'm glad we're still going, okay.
Roll my thunder again.
Your thunder. I didn't know.
Okay, Joe?
So, with that, we have item 6.1, the consent agenda items for your consideration.
Okay, so, and all of those? Any questions on them? The one that, we have a new item, a new piece of paper here for it. Here it is, a Pacific Materials Lab, which I think the Facilities Committee went over, so it's probably in your folder.
Correct, and we saw this as well.
Okay, good. Okay, and that's part of, that's H. Okay, so A through, is it J? Yes, A through K, without J. Okay, is there a motion?
So moved.
Okay, is there a second?
Second?
Okay. Any discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Good.
Then we can take the action items,
Okay.
resolution number 48 for budget transfers between major objects, and resolution number 49, the augmentation of revenue together.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, interesting, okay. Can I have a motion on that?
I make a motion.
Okay, Craig, is there a second?
Second.
Okay, thanks, Lisa. So we're doing 48 and 49 together, and I think we need a roll call. Can't believe I remembered it.
Aye.
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 Okay. Item 6.2C,
Resolution number 50 is the transfer from ending balance.
okay.
Move approval.
Okay. Is there
Second.
Okay. Any discussion?
Do
You-
we have a
Third, no, we're not going to.
I'm a third, okay.
Any discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Oh, it's a resolution. I was so good on the first one. Okay, go ahead and call the roll.
Aye.
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 And I know Dean thought he was going to get away with no more comments, but I've got one, and I just have really appreciated working with him. The fact that Dean never hesitated to call me if he had a question. He called us, welcomed us to the Academic Senate, and I felt that it was just a really team effort on his part to draw everybody in and work with us together, and I really do appreciate that from my perspective.
Any other testimonials? Okay, we're going to adjourn to closed session right now, and are we going to report back?
Yes.
Okay, we'll report back.
Can we estimate how long we will be out of session?
I would estimate about a half an hour,
Half
no
an
more
hour.
than a half an hour.
Okay.
Oh, for ours?
I'm reporting out from closed session that the board provided direction to the district negotiators with regard to negotiation with the Instructors Association, and we'll leave it there.
Thank you.
And we will adjourn this meeting. Thank you.
Thanks.